Hello everyone, welcome to Himalaya online classes. So this video is going to be final video on space technology. Okay, in this video we are going to discuss about space missions of ISRO and other space agencies. Right? Coming to the space missions of ISRO, first we will start with missions to study Sun. Okay, the first one is going to be Aditya L1 mission. See, this Aditya L1 mission is our future project where we are going to launch this satellite to study the sun, right? So why it is important to study the sun? Okay, there are so many missions to study the sun, no? So because we wanted to know, if you take the parts of the sun, okay, when we compare the temperature in the core of the sun to the temperature to its atmosphere, okay, there are parts of the sun, that is core, then the visible part of the sun is photosphere, then chromosphere, and its atmosphere is called as corona. Okay, so the temperature in the core is less compared to the temperature in the corona is very hot. However, nuclear reactions are occurring in the core. Okay, so this creates why it is like this. Okay, why temperature differences like this. Okay, to know more about the sun, so many missions have been planned, and so some missions have already been launched. Okay, so Aditya L1 mission is going to be our future mission where we are going to launch in 2021. Okay, so here L1 starts. L1 states that it is called Lagrangian point. Okay, L1 is Lagrangian point. Means what is the meaning here is, where are we going to place this spacecraft? So we are going to place, see, you can look at the picture here. We will place this spacecraft in this L1 point. Okay, so L1. So what is this L1, L2, L3, L4, L5? So these are the points where there will be neutral gravitational impact or neutral this celestial body's impact at this point. Okay, so if you place any spacecraft at this point, there is the gravitational pull of the sun and gravitational pull of the earth will try to neutralize here, and it will not impact the working of the spacecraft. Okay, so like these points, we have 5 points. Okay, between this sun and earth, that is L1, L2, L3, L4, and L5. Okay, 5 Lagrange points. So ISRO has chosen to place this L1 in this place Aditya L1 in this Lagrange point. Okay, so this Lagrange point is 1.5 kilometer from the earth. Okay, 1.5 kilometer from the earth. We are planning to launch this mission in 2021. Okay, so why we are going to do that? To study the solar corona. Okay, solar corona. So why we have to study solar corona? Okay, solar corona, for example, here solar corona, it consists of solar wind. Okay, solar corona is the one which emits this solar wind. Okay, this solar wind is the one which consists of, which is made up of particles. Okay, particles such as protons, electrons, alpha particles, like that. Okay, so these are the one which reaches, okay, which which will have, which passes, okay, throughout our solar system, the solar winds. Okay, so these solar winds would have studied in geography, where this our earth has its own magnetosphere, right? Our earth is enclosed by its own magnetic field. Okay, so when the solar winds try to these solar winds passes to entire solar system that we have seen. So okay, when it tries to enter the earth, our earth's magnetosphere protects its atmosphere from this solar wind. Okay, that is why because of the solar wind only, the terrestrial planets have lost their uh, primordial atmosphere. Okay, primordial atmosphere, because of the intense force of the solar wind. The terrestrial planets, what is this Mercury, Venus, okay, they have lost their primordial atmosphere. However, Jupiter, Saturn, and all, they were bit far. That is why these planets had less influence of solar winds on them, and they could retain their primordial atmosphere. However, our Earth, if we take, so because it had its own magnetosphere, so that is why the solar winds could not get into the atmosphere of our Earth. Okay, sometimes it manages to enter, and that is how we see aurora in the poles. Okay, so here if you take solar winds, so how it happens is, suppose if you take the Earth, then 1 second. Okay, suppose if you take the Earth, okay, so then the solar winds are coming. So this magnetosphere, how it will be there means, it will try, see, in this manner it will be there. Okay, see, in this manner. Okay, please bear with this diagram. Here if you take this as the Earth, where the solar winds try to pass in this manner. Okay, it tries to pass in this manner. So because of this, here this magnetosphere, what we have, it tries to compress. Okay, it tries to compress because of this solar winds. Okay, because of the solar winds, this side of the Earth, the magnetosphere, it seems to be compressed. However, this side of the Earth, okay, the magnetosphere tries to form an expanded one. Okay, it tries to develop like a tail. Okay, this is called as geotail. Okay, geotail. This is called as geotail. Okay, geotail. So geotail, means which extends the orbit of the moon. Okay, this is if you take this as a moon, so this geotail extends the orbit of the moon. Okay, so and recently the Chandrayaan 2, what we had launched, the orbiter was able to analyze the soil of the sun when it was in this geotail. Analyze the soil of the moon when it was in this geotail. Okay, so this our moon enters into this geotail, okay, once in 29 days, and it remains for here, for example, 5 to 7 days it remains here, and this helps us to give more information about the moon. Okay, so just understand the concept. What is geotail? Geotail is the one where our Earth's magnetosphere extends. Okay, extends, and it extends beyond the orbit of the moon, and it develops like a tail. Okay, its formation will be like a tail. Okay, here it is compressed, however here it is expanded. Okay, that is the meaning of geotail. Okay, here, so we are going to place Aditya L1 in L1 Lagrange point. Okay, then here we can see solar and heliosphere observatory. So this was the joint project of European Space Agency and NASA, so which was again to study the solar corona. So this was also placed in L1 Lagrange point. Please remember that. Okay, then next one is very important one, Parker Solar Probe, NASA's. Okay, so recently it completed 1 year of its mission. Okay, it was NASA's to study again the corona and about the sun. Okay, one specialty about Parker Solar Probe is it is the probe which has reached very near to the sun. Okay, till now, if any man-made object has reached very near to the sun, means that is Parker Solar Probe. Okay, it has gone deep inside the corona. Okay, so next one is Solar Orbiter mission. So it is a collaborative mission of European Space Agency and NASA. Okay, this is also European Space Agency and NASA. This is also European Space Agencies and NASA's. So dedicated solar and heliospheric physics. So here we are seeing one term. What is this? Heliosphere. Heliosphere. Okay, heliosphere. So what is this means? So as I have told, the solar winds are the one which contains charged particles. Okay, charged particles such as proton, electrons, alpha particles, all such particles. These charged particles, this will have influence to our entire solar system. Suppose if we take this as the Pluto. Okay, if we take this as a Pluto, so these solar winds will reach 3 times the distance of the Pluto. Okay, 3 times the distance of the, it cover 3 times the distance of the Pluto, means it will have that influence. Okay, beyond the Pluto, beyond Pluto, we know that we have Kuiper belt. Okay, Kuiper belt, and beyond that, this 3 times the distance, the solar winds will be having its impact. And beyond that, there will be some interstellar space. Okay, interstellar space, say that is, it's a kind of plasma. Okay, and beyond that, we will be having some other star and its own influence. Okay, so interstellar means between the star there is one space, this is called as interstellar space. Okay, the entire region, okay, entire region where this sun's influence will be there, no, okay, through this solar wind, so that is called as heliosphere. Okay, heliosphere. So that is why, to study the sun and its influence, so for that only there are many solar probes. Okay, hope you understood this, the meaning of the heliosphere. Okay, then coming to the next space missions which involves with the ISRO is NISAR. NISAR stands for NASA ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar. Okay, NASA ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar. It's a joint project between NASA and ISRO. Okay, for what you see here, synthetic aperture radar. It is a kind of Earth observation satellite where this will be used for observing this ecological ecosystem disturbances. Okay, for example, due to climate change, ice sheets collapse, or natural hazards, or that is earthquake, tsunami, volcanoes, landslides. So we know what is the function of Earth observation satellite, right? So that function, so here a dedicated one, that is with the collaboration of NASA and ISRO. Okay, synthetic aperture radar. Okay. And next, moving on to Gaganyaan mission. So Gaganyaan mission, so this is the mission where by 2022, when we celebrate 75th India's independence, okay, anniversary, so by that time we are planning to launch one spacecraft which will carry 3 human beings to the space, okay, to the low Earth orbit level, okay, to the space. So Gaganyaan mission. So this Gaganyaan mission, we were having a plan since 2004, okay, to launch this spacecraft, okay, to carry people to the space. Okay, so since 2004 we were trying to do experiment with many technologies. Okay, for example, so all this you need not go very deep into it, just know it. Okay, space capsule recovery experiment. Okay, space capsule recovery experiment, we did it in 2007. Then crew module atmosphere re-entry experiment, CARE, we did it in 2014. And GSLV Mark 3, so this was ready by 2014. So GSLV Mark 3 is the one which we are going to use to launch this Gaganyaan mission. Then reusable launch vehicle, so that technology demonstration also occurred. Okay, then we tested a crew escape system and pad abort test. So all these technologies are what, for example, crew escape system. Suppose if we have launched the spacecraft and there was some there was some failure, and we wanted to take our astronauts safe to the safe back to the Earth. So how those crew can escape from this spacecraft. Okay, crew escape system, pad abort test, all these are the technological demonstration which is related to Gaganyaan mission. Okay, so then we also have this scramjet engine, so which we are already using. So what is this scramjet engine means? Scramjet stands for supersonic ramjet engine. Okay, so what is this ramjet? Ramjet engine means here usually what we do in liquid propellant or cryogenic means we take separately the fuel as well as the oxygen. right? Okay, we carry oxygen for the combustion purpose. However, in ramjet engine, what happens is, instead of taking the oxygen, we try to use oxygen directly from the atmosphere. Okay, so from the atmosphere we try to take the oxygen. That is the meaning of ramjet. Okay, so here in the ramjet, when we compare ramjet to the scramjet, okay, so scramjet is called supersonic, ramjet engine means here supersonic. At the supersonic speed, we try to take the atmospheric oxygen, we try to compress and we try to give it to the combustion chamber. So that is the meaning of scramjet engine. Okay, so here, so we need to know what is the meaning of supersonic. Supersonic is the one where sonic means speed of the sound, supersonic means it is more speed compared to the speed of the sound. So that we measure by Mach number. So Mach number we get by calculating speed of the object divided by speed of the sound. Okay, so suppose if the Mach number is between more than 1 and less than 5, then that speed it is called as supersonic speed. Means just remember that that object is going more than the speed of the sound. Okay, so in that speed we will try to take the oxygen from the atmosphere, then compress it and give it to the combustion chamber. So that is the technology what we use in scramjet engine. Okay, so recently, Vyomamitra. So what is this Vyomamitra? Vyomamitra, it is the what is it? It is the half humanoid. Okay, using artificial intelligence technology, the half humanoid. Okay, this was created by IISc and ISRO. Okay, IISc, ISRO created this Vyomamitra. What for it will be used? It will act like an assistant. Okay, assistant to the crew members. Okay, and directly we cannot launch Gaganyaan mission, no. So we have to do some some unmanned Gaganyaan flights. Okay, unmanned missions we need to do. So ISRO is planning for 2 such unmanned Gaganyaan spacecraft. Okay, 2 such one it will be in 2020 end of the year and 2021. So in this unmanned Gaganyaan spacecraft, ISRO is going to send Vyomamitra. Okay, here. Then is ISRO the first space agency to send such artificial intelligence or any robotic system into the space? Means no. Okay, before ISRO, other space agencies also have sent humanoids. Okay, robots. So for example, Russia has sent Skybot 850. Sorry, Skybot F850. Skybot F850. Okay, that is Russia's. Then NASA has sent Robonaut. Then Japan has sent Kirobo. Okay, please try to remember. Okay, ISRO's Vyomamitra, Russia's Skybot F850, NASA's Robonaut, Japan Kirobo. Okay, they are the artificial intelligence based robotic system. Okay, so I have humanoid kind, so which will be used for mimicking the crew activity. Okay, to assist the astronauts in the space. Okay, then here India plans for. Okay, so you hope you understood this Vyomamitra, and more information on this Gaganyaan mission is ISRO has created a dedicated center to carry out this Gaganyaan mission, that is Human Space Flight Center. Okay, Human Space Flight Center. Right? The next one will be regarding Indian Data Relay Satellite Systems. Okay. Suppose if we want space related information. Okay, space related information. Then we need to send signal to the satellite then we need to take the information. Suppose if we are there in this space agency, okay, sorry, this space shuttle, okay, if you are there in the space shuttle, and if we want information of the satellite, then what we need to do is, so we need to first seek the information from the ground station. Then ground station will try to seek the information from that satellite. Then again, this from this ground station, the information will be sent back to this space shuttle. Okay, so here instead of this round tripping, okay, so why can't we have direct information from this satellite to this space shuttle? Okay, so that is the motto where we wanted to deploy some satellites which are dedicated for getting the information directly from satellite to satellite. Okay, so that is the meaning here: space to space tracking and communication for its space assets. Okay, for this purpose, relay satellites system will be used, where we are going to launch some satellites which will be placed in geosynchronous or geostationary orbit, where these satellites will be dedicated for giving the information of other satellites to the space shuttle. For example, Gaganyaan mission. So this Gaganyaan mission, where in this Gaganyaan mission, the crew members can take the information directly from using this India data relay satellite system. Okay. Then moving on to the next one. Okay, so fine, let us try to solve this question. In 2017, UPSC had asked, with reference to AstroSat, the astronomical observatory launched by India, which of the following statements is or are correct? So AstroSat, okay, we have seen that AstroSat, okay, it is a what is AstroSat? AstroSat is the India's first dedicated to study the space, which works in multi-wavelength. Okay, so other than USA and Russia, India is the only country to have launched a similar observatory into the space. So is it true only USA, Russia is going to launch like that? So apart from India, apart from USA and Russia, is it only India which has launched similar satellite to the space? No, it can't be. There will be many space agencies which would have launched to observatory into the space. Okay, so one is wrong, and both 1 and 2 also we can cancel from this. And next one is AstroSat is a 2000 kg satellite placed in an orbit at 1650 kilometer above the surface of the earth. So this is purely factual. Okay, purely factual. So we need to know some factual information about this. Okay, so actually this statement is also wrong, because it is not 2000 kgs, it is around some 1500 kg, and this height is also wrong, where it is 650 kilometer from above the surface of the earth, not 1650 kilometer. Okay, so here both first statement as well as the second statements are wrong. The answer is D, neither 1 nor 2. Okay. Then the next one is in 2017 about the Mangalyaan mission, the Mangalyaan launched by ISRO. So it is also called the Mars Orbiter mission. Okay, mom, yes, correct. No, the statement is correct. So 1 is correct. So wherever 1 is there, you just see, and here 1 is not there, so B is not the correct answer. Okay, so then here it is also called as MOM. Fine, made India the second country to have spacecraft orbit the Mars after USA. Okay, no, before us even other space agencies also had gone to the Mars. Okay, so India is not the second one. Okay, that is for sure. Okay, then we can strike out wherever 2 is there, 2 this has gone. So now we have 2 options, that is either A or C. Okay, we know that 1 is correct. We have to check whether the third option is correct or not. Okay, third statement. So made India the only country to be successful in making its spacecraft orbit the orbit to the Mars in its very first attempt. Yes, we did it in very first attempt, and we did it in very low budget also. Okay, so that is why option C will be right. That is, answer is 1 and 3 only. Okay, option C. Okay, so next moving on to other missions of other space agencies. So these pages, this is NASA's missions. All these are. So first one will be InSight mission. Okay, so what is this InSight mission means? It is to study the study the planet Mars. Okay, so like how Earth experiences earthquakes, volcanoes, all that one. Okay, we wanted to check whether Mars also experiences similar disasters, if earthquakes, volcanoes, similar events does it experience. Okay, we wanted to check. That is why NASA had launched this InSight mission. Okay, so InSight mission recently detected quakes and magnetic pulses. Okay, magnetic pulses which occurred in Mars. Okay, what we need to remember is which space agency's mission is that. NASA's mission, and to which planet, Mars. Okay, that is enough. Okay. Then we have next one is Voyager, and there is also a rover in this NASA to the Mars mission. One rover is also there, that is Curiosity rover. Okay, that was also launched by NASA. Next one is Voyager 1, Voyager 2. What is this Voyagers? Okay, this is also NASA's, where this Voyager 2 is a successor of Voyager 1, and this Voyager is a space mission which has, which is used to study the edge of our solar system. Okay, so edge of our solar system means, see, this Voyager 1, Voyager 2 have closely viewed planets beyond Jupiter, we can say. Okay, so Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and Kuiper belt, all these planets have been closely observed by this Voyager. Okay, so any human made mission which has gone till this end means that is the Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. Okay, so this was, you just know the names and for what purpose it is used. And next one is New Frontiers program. This is also NASA's program. Under this New Frontiers program, we have various missions. One is Dragonfly mission. Okay, Dragonfly mission is used to study the Titan. Okay, Titan is the moon of the Saturn. Okay, and it is the largest moon of the Saturn, and in our solar system it is the second largest moon. Okay, to study this largest moon, why means Titan contains more amount of nitrogen, just like our Earth's atmosphere. Okay, Titan also contains more amount of nitrogen, and it is also has water in ice form. Okay, water ice also there. So to study that, Dragonfly mission is to this Titan. Okay, then coming to New Horizons, this New Horizon mission had recently completed its term. Okay, its mission it has completed, which was to Pluto and Kuiper belt, to study the Pluto and Kuiper belt. Okay, Juno mission is to the Jupiter. Then this is important, Osiris Rex mission. It is for studying the asteroid Bennu. Okay, asteroid Bennu. The next one will be SNOW-X. Okay, SNOW-X. So this is a 5-year program which was launched in 2016-17. Okay, who launched it? It was launched by NASA. So for what purpose? The purpose is how much water is contained in each winter snowfall, and how much will be available when it melts in the spring. So what is the meaning here? So it is the mission which will try to observe how much water will be contained in a snowfall. Okay, and how much it will be available for use when this gets melted, when the snow gets melted, how much water will be available for its usage. Okay, for that purpose this SNOW-X is launched. Just remember the purpose of it and who launched it. And next, Hayabusa 2. This is a Japan's asteroid sampling spacecraft. Okay, so which landed at asteroid Ryugu. Okay, in June 2018. So why they had to collect the sample from the asteroid means, so there is a opinion that, okay, this Ryugu in future will come, and there is a chances of hitting the earth. Okay, in future. So that is why if we collect the sample from that spacecraft and analyze, okay, about this asteroid, and we can check whether there is a possibility of diverting its orbit. Okay, through creating a creating an impact in it. Okay, so using that, okay, that is why this mission Hayabusa 2 for collecting the sample from this asteroid. Okay, So we will do a blast in this asteroid, and we will try to divert. Okay, we will try to divert its orbital path, or way to destroy this asteroid. So some future step is going to be taken. Okay, so this is Japan's mission. Just remember that. Okay. Okay, we will try to solve these questions: spacecraft and what is the purpose. So in this manner we will get the question. Okay, so Cassini-Huygens. Cassini is for what? Is it for orbiting the Venus and transmitting data to the Earth? Okay, we will see. Messenger, mapping and investigating the Mercury. Okay, Voyager 1 and 2, exploring the outer solar system. Okay, yes, we have seen out to explore the outer solar system, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. So option 3 is correct. However, we will see messenger. Yes, messenger, mapping and investigating the Mercury. Yes, for investigating the Mercury only, messenger is there. Okay. However, Cassini mission is not for the Venus, but it is for the Saturn. Okay, Cassini. So first statement will be wrong. Okay, so if we try to cancel the first statement, okay, first option, so what we will be left with is the option B. Okay, option B, that is statement 2 and statement 3 are only correct. Okay, only these two are correct. Option B is right. Next one, okay, the term Goldilocks zone. Okay, we had discussed Goldilocks zone in our previous classes. Goldilocks zone is often seen in news. Okay, what is this related to? Is it the limits of the habitable zone above the surface of the Earth? Okay, regions inside the Earth where shale gas is available. Search for Earth-like planets in our solar system. So in outer space. Search for meteorites containing precious metals. So what is the answer here? So we are in search for Earth-like planets in the outer space. Okay, that is called as Goldilocks zone. Next one, ISRO's program. There are many programs. Okay, I have taken only few here. Okay, so rest all it is the responsibility of you now to go through the current affairs and see what and all ISRO is doing the programs. Okay. So ISRO inaugurated its first, its commercial arm, New Space India Limited. Okay, where in Bangalore. Okay, ISRO is already having a commercial arm. Okay, that is called Antrix Corporation. Okay, Antrix Corporation, and that is purely government owned. Even this is also purely government owned. Okay, New Space India Limited. So what is this? What is the meaning of commercial arm? So commercial arm means where ISRO is going to involve in the technology transfer or giving the space related services to the other countries, and technology transfer to the private companies also, in encouraging private and encouraging institutions to come forward and give contribution to the space in the field of research and development. Okay, so that is the meaning here, where this is a commercial arm, like a market arm of the ISRO, we can say. Okay, next one is manufacturing and production of small satellite launch vehicle. Okay, small satellite launch vehicle. So we had seen that PSLV is there, GSLV is there. So what is this SSLV? Okay, so for launching the satellite in low Earth orbit, so we need not use PSLV, GSLV satellites for that. Okay, so cost to benefit ratio, if we take, that will be high. So instead of that, we can use a small satellite launch vehicle to launch the satellites to place in low Earth orbit. Okay, that will be more beneficial to launch our satellites as well as to launch even the foreign satellites. Okay, for that purpose only a dedicated launch vehicle ISRO is manufacturing and producing, that is small satellite launch vehicle. Okay, so for what purpose is that? We need not use frequently PSLV and GSLV, so they to launch satellites in the low Earth orbit, so we can use this launch vehicle instead. Okay. Then coming to next one, space technology cells. So what are the space technology cell? Okay, is to carry out research activities. Okay, ISRO is taking the help of institutions such as IITs, IISs, and other institutions where it is going to set up space technology cells. Okay. where research activities will be carried, and if they come up with any particular idea, okay, if that idea is feasible, then ISRO is going to fund that project, okay, and it will encourage in building that project by these institutions. Okay, so that is the meaning of my motto behind setting the space technology cells. Next one is Yuvika program. Yuvika program, okay, this program it is by the ISRO, okay, where to inculcate scientific aptitude towards the school children. Okay, so school children, during especially during their summer holidays, 2 weeks kind of knowledge giving, okay, 2 weeks kind of project period will be there, or we can say training period, okay, where during this 2 weeks period, the students will get information or knowledge about what is space technology, what are these information on launch vehicles, and how does our space system work, okay, for all to gain all that information. So Yuvika program is the one which is created by ISRO. Okay, so hope you understood the concepts and the information given till now. Okay, so this is not the end of the space technology. There are much more. Okay, so please try to study what is important. Okay, and basic knowledge we have covered. So what you have to do is some of the other tiny information would have left out, say like this projects or all that. Okay, so please try to cover in your current affairs. Okay, so the next class we will try to see defense technology. Hope you hope you got some help through these classes. Okay, so try to do this do's and don'ts. Okay, thank you very much.